Hey, yo, what's going, bro? We hopped up on that bus. It's Chill, Hight, and Raji. Glad you came to whip with us. Got no GPS or telling what we gon' discuss. Shout out Thompson Farms, they got the melons and the nuts. We like a trampoline, yeah, we jump.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by Premier Properties of Dublin. We are your first and only source for mediocre sports coverage. We are so glad you're here with us this morning. We got an exciting show. Fired up to be here. My name is Chill. Let's bring on the other two guys that are here with us this morning. He's a UGA graduate. He is a diehard dog. He can make a bottle of mouthwash stink. He's also known as a Sour Patch Kid. He is the pride of Buddy Johnson Road, Adam Hight Hightower.
Hey, appreciate that. Change up on the intro, Chill.
Sour. I like to keep a little curveball every now and then.
Keep us on our toes.
Keep us on your toes. And then also here with us this morning, his mama did try. He had a cup of coffee in the Marines, loves to talk and not listen. He is the scum of Dexter, Georgia. Ladies and gentlemen, Mitch, the bus, Lawhorn.
Nice to be here. Nice to be here.
Oh, that was good.
Scum. Why the scum?
Why not? Does it fit Height a little bit?
There's a touch of honesty there.
Is there at least one person that lives in Dexter that would say that fits?
Do your parents still live in Dexter?
My parents going to call me scum. No, I'm the pride of my mom's eye.
That makes sense. Yeah,
I believe that's the same.
All right, gentlemen, appreciate y'all coming early this morning. I've got something to do today, so we couldn't sleep in. Hey,
it wasn't easy.
It wasn't. We're back early. It's 6 o'clock in the morning over here, and we getting after it because the bus stops for nobody. So, Height, I know that you guys had an exciting weekend with Dudley Little League.
Dudley Little League, and I used to see people posting about how much fun it was, and I would always be like, man, these people are a little bit fanatical about this. Well, then my boy gets in there, and now I understand.
Fanatic now.
Yes.
Law, you ever had any of that juice?
Oh yeah. My oldest boy Peyton played that little, and Charlie did it for a little while. He's not baseball's a little slow for him. He's that kid that sits in the outfield and swats at butterflies.
But man, it was competitive, and there was
very competitive.
It was stressful at times, and I'll say this: as much fun as I've had in my career coaching high school and middle school sports, coaching your own kid is different.
And the good thing is you got 3 boys and a girl, and it's all just getting started.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So you're not even in your prime.
No, not yet. And I have a lot to learn about coaching baseball, so I'm planning to talk to Mike Thompson and Jeff Clayton and Jody Pollock and Josh Carter and different
gurus.
Guys. Yeah, to figure things out. But our first weekend at a baseball complex, we spent Thursday. Yeah,
where was y'all at this weekend?
Jones County. We spent Thursday, Friday, Saturday down there, and we got put out. We played good, just not good enough to beat Warner Robins, and got put out 10-7. But man, we stuck around and watched the other teams play, and there was a lot of community pride there.
And that's Coach Mitch again.
Coach Mitch.
That's some pretty good defenses. That's a low-scoring game for a Coach Mitch.
Well, that's what one of the umpires said. He's like, man, this is a really good defense. Man, there was several balls that got to the fence that our team and the other team relayed all the way home. And you're talking about 7-year-old kids, 6 and 7-year-old. One of the players on our team that was involved in one of the relays. Hudson Thomas, Nate Thomas's boy.
Shout out, Nate.
I'm pretty sure he's 6, but he's a little fella. But man, he is a intense baseball player. Anyway, he gets to the fence, he turns and fires to Rhett Logue, and he fires to home plate and catches it and prevents the run from scoring. And I mean, it was a fun ball game.
Well, if you'd see Height's coaching stance at first base, you'd have no doubt that they can field and do things the right way over there. I mean, I saw a picture and you locked in.
Yes, I was.
Your feet shoulder width apart, kept picking up third base coaching signs.
Yeah,
Remind me of a little EY over there, little Eric Young.
Y'all know that I'll lose focus in a heartbeat. with the best of them. So, but I was able to be. I was, like you said, locked in, and I had no base running blunders on my end. Sorry. And during the regular season, there were times where I wasn't as focused on telling kids where to go. But
when it comes All-Star time,
playoff time, yeah, I was.
And I don't know if you're aware of this when you're seeking like just advice from the gurus, but Law coaches a little baseball. So if you need to,
that's right. I forgot you're on staff on the east side. Well, he's a wrestling guru.
Yeah, I'm not a wrestling guru either.
Hey, did you have
Some have said you're the best in the county.
Some have said.
I mean, I don't want to step on anybody's toes.
I know.
And wait to see this
I
text
also
come
do
through.
not want to step on anybody.
And I don't want to stir the pot.
I'm in a good
You know.
situation.
I'm not one to stir the pot.
He's not.
That's not me.
Hey, explain real quick, Sour Patch Kid. I threw that in the intro.
the Sour Patch Kid came. It came to me when Raji always loves to talk about how when he and I first met, he hated me, and what it was.
And he means on the first meeting, like
The
not
very first time that he ever talked to me, he's like, "Man, I hate this guy. He's a jerk."
I feel like you get that a lot. It's either love or hate.
It's often hate to begin with.
It'll make sense when I tell you the Sour Patch Kids analogy. So the very first time I met him, we were at the state wrestling tournament. He was with Chuck, and maybe Respert was with y'all. Y'all were kind of sitting around talking about, and I come up, and Mitch, I'm a talker. I wanna fit in and hang out and have a good time with everybody. Right. And so they're talking about college football, and Raji, being a big FSU guy, was just popping off at the mouth about how FSU was going to be this, that, and whatever. And so then I wanting to, kind of join in the whatnot. I start talking about how he's an idiot because
Hight will go low blow, like, or to him it ain't really a low blow, but to the guy, especially a guy you don't know, he'll get under that belt. And at that time, it was a big belt. So.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm like, dude, you're an idiot. FSU's trash. I'll bet you $100 they don't win 9 games or something like that. So Raji gets.
We leave there. You talking about how bad he hates Hightower? We don't even know him.
Before he left, we had made that bet, $100 bet that anyway he ended up winning. I mean, he ended up owing me the $100, but he hated me for a good little while. And whenever he found out I was coming over here to work, he was like, "Gosh, I can't stand that guy. I wish he wasn't coming." But now we're like best buddies. So, Sour Patch Kids. Sour at first, sweet after
sweet and tasty.
There you go.
All right, Law. Coming off the hook 'em, what'd you call it? Hold 'em
hook and hold 'em.
Hold 'em hook classic.
Hold 'em hook classic.
That is not what you called it last week.
It is a hold 'em hook classic.
It was hook and hold 'em last week.
I feel like it was hold 'em hook.
Hold 'em hook.
Okay.
We'll go back and listen. Speaking of going back and listen, did you happen to listen to last week's episode?
Yes.
Okay. Did you notice?
We listened to it up there. A bunch of there's a couple of guys on the fishing trip have never watched. So
good plug.
We brought them in.
Did you happen to notice how when me and him talk, it's like loud and clear, and then when you talk, it's like
it's not. It's surely not
on the radio. On the radio, it was on the radio.
I don't know about the radio.
So we just need to make sure. We just need to make sure
you're moving it away from me.
We just need to make sure. Well, you need to be in the end of it.
I'm in the end of it.
Okay.
Hey,
I can hear myself perfectly fine.
My buddy Josh Brantley, who's law enforcement.
Law dog?
Yeah, they're a real law dog. Anyway, so loyal listener, shout out to Rex, who also, by the way, he wants to.
He's the one when we do the pick'ems. His name on them is Law Dog, and I always think that's my pick'em.
Mm-hmm. And he's always winning. Yeah, I was about to say, you probably wish that was you because he does win a lot.
He does win a lot.
Anyway, but he works over at the VA. But anyway, he's a law expert here, and he looked it up. He's also a good outdoorsman. But anyway,
he wants to what? You were about to say he wants to.
Yes, see, I got sidetracked on what I was talking about. He wants to do during football season, he wants to do a tailgate with T-Rex because that's his nickname, T-Rex. But anyway, I hadn't.
And he can throw down now.
Yeah, he can. He can really.
Dang, is that a big, ugly sports event?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And now that I'm sitting here talking about, I didn't realize how many things he's good at. He can cook. He's good at fantasy games.
Good
knows
at policing.
a lot about the law. And he's a really good shot. Anyway.
We saw that at Josh Carter's that night when he fired up on that tree.
Yes, sir.
About what, 40, 50?
100 yards? I don't know.
He split a tree. Okay, respect.
With a little single stack pistol that was tough to anyhow, sidetracked again. But
tell us about
he told me he's listening. He texted me and said, "Hey, you let Lawhorn know that those fish in any body of water in Georgia belong to the state of Georgia or a federal
That's right.
state or federal, because
you have to get a license to catch them. That's right. That's exactly.
So they don't belong to Georgia Power is what he was saying. But
or that guy.
Yeah,
Or
they
that guy.
definitely don't belong to
No,
that guy.
no.
Who also does not own that dock.
that's right.
And I told you this before you tell us about the
Because I looked
hook
that
'em,
up,
hold 'em.
and I was told by a Oconee EMC guy who used to work for Georgia Power, who goes on the fishing trip with us, Dana Patterson.
Dana,
And he may be at Georgia Power.
Mr. President.
No, he's at Dudley.
He's
Is Dudley
Oconee EMC? Yeah, Mr.
But,
President. You can refer to him, Mr. President. He's
Mr. President. Mr. President Dana Patterson said it is 15 foot past up onto the land,
not 5.
not 5.
Okay.
So, I mean,
So you were plenty. You could have cast it on his grass if you needed to, then, right?
He said, "How about this? If the bank washes away, like you have a flood and it washes away, and it comes up into your yard, it's still 15 foot if it goes up into your house." And I was like, I didn't know that.
So technically, could you go into his bank 15 feet and fish from there and say, "Hey,
I could stand up on his bank.
this doesn't belong to you. This is not actually your property."
It's not his property.
That probably have to get physical.
Yeah,
That
he may have got a little physical.
I like you over him. I ain't seen him, but I've seen you.
So, Law, before you tell us about the fishing trip, I told you this pre-show, but I just wanted you to take this as a compliment because my wife rarely listens to the show. She happened to tune in this past week, and the only takeaway she got from it was that Law needs to be on it more often. So, here you are.
There you go.
I've got a
I keep getting
hypothesis
about
about that. I've got
keep getting about it back.
What it is she's not. That's the AC kicking
Man,
in.
we need it, though. That thing is loud, Law.
It is
It is
loud.
loud. I'm gonna tell you what,
You wanna go cut it off?
it'll be icebergs up in here.
You want to go cut it down? Cut it up? No. Yeah. I'll mute you. Go ahead and do that. real quick.
So my hypothesis is she's heard you and I talk for years and years and years now. So she's just tired of hearing
Just a
us.
fresh voice.
Yeah, Law's fresh. I mean, she's just tired.
I
of
know
hearing
she's
us.
tired of hearing mine.
Yeah, and she rolls her eye. And I hadn't been around her in quite a while, but when I am around, she does tend to roll her eyes a decent amount. So
Chuck may not remember this when they first got married and lived out down 19. I used to come out there and I'd come watch Georgia games.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Mm-hmm. Tell us about the fishing trip.
Well, it was uneventful. I mean, we caught fish, of course.
Did
but
Thompson's boat?
Thompson's boat caught fish. But I will tell you, Eddie Floyd, y'all, we hammer him a lot about stuff, and we hammered him on the fishing trip about coaching. Any given thing, he got hammered.
What did his
He
neck?
is a daggum fisherman, brother.
I've heard.
If you
I've
want to
heard
go
of-
fishing and catch fish, Eddie Floyd can catch fish.
That's true. I've taken my children to his house, and me and my kids couldn't catch anything. He grabbed one of the poles up and said, "Here, let me hook
Let me tell you
some for y'all, son. Let me hook a few for y'all."
Well, the thing is our group are really loud. Like you catch
No.
a fish. It's called Hold 'em Hook Classic because every time you catch a fish, you have to yell as loud as you can. Hold 'em hook as you pull them the fish in. Well, I mean, so when people are catching fish because they're just screaming. Tony Johnson, our board member, is there, and he
Also,
normally
listener, Tony Johnson. Thank you.
he normally just rides in the boat because he works. He has to drive back and forth to Brunswick, and he'll normally come back after lunch and go out and ride with us. Well, he fished this time, the loudest of them all. And when he went to catching fish, he's just screaming, "Hey, all the fish over here! This is how you catch them!" Trying to embarrass my boat and everybody else's boat because their boat's catching fish. Eddie Floyd gets there the second day, quiet as can be. He's in a boat by himself. You wouldn't have thought he caught nothing. We get back to the cleaning station to clean fish. They got a little cleaning station there at the mall. Dude, I'm talking about, and ain't none of them smaller than my hand. They're huge.
And that's a bear paw now. That's a big hand.
I mean, he's a
You
fish.
reckon he just kept any from the fishing tournament they had, the West Orange fishing tournament, and just took them in his cooler and turned them in?
We said there wasn't many in there. It must have been a bunch of ice on the bottom, and he just goes to dumping them out and counting them. Then him and Thompson were betting. Well, he's in a boat by himself, and he goes to count. Well, in his cooler, they caught as much as Mike and Dana caught together. He caught by himself.
That boy Junebug.
He would, but he'd sneak off to Eddie likes to sneak off to
Probably
little
on the
places, and he'll catch them on his own, and then he'll come back and like, "Oh yeah, I caught a couple of them."
But I have heard that about Eddie, that he has a few honey holes and he's not taking, which is standard for any fisherman. If you know
That's right.
fishing.
That's right.
Guys that are dedicated to it this is not Eddie's first trip down there to that spot, probably, and he knows where to go.
Right. I mean, we have places we go, and
Yeah. Well, and fish are kind of, I mean, they're creatures of habit. They know you have typical places a fish is going to be at. So
we decided after about the second day, because we had a buddy of ours, Sean Harrison, we called Liz. He ended up going home. We just wasn't catching them like we usually were. The water was real muddy. It was high. The tides were off.
So was the Hold'em hook headed downhill? I mean, is it about a?
No, I mean it's just the water.
Just off
we
here.
still caught fish. Now.
Okay.
I mean,
We still
but
caught a
nobody fell off a boat. You know, nobody's boat.
Does that ever
sank.
happen?
Yeah, it's a funny story.
Let's hear it. Real quick.
This was my first trip. I didn't have a boat, and I went with Thompson. I got invited, and I had to go to the bathroom. I just had to pee really bad, and so I stood up off the back of the boat to pee. And we had just passed an alligator, which there are a pile of alligators down there. So
I don't like alligators.
I do not either. I don't. I mean,
There's
he's a
some big ones
smaller
out there?
alligator, but he'll bite something. You know, I mean, he'll bite your finger or your toe. It'll hurt. So I stood up off the back of the boat. I'm peeing. Thompson shakes the boat. I fall. Like Jesus, I could have walked. You ain't never seen somebody, and I'm a big guy. You ain't never seen somebody get back up in a boat as quick as I did. It was.
I bet Thompson loved it.
Well, he's just dying laughing. He about fell out the boat laughing so hard because he thought it was so funny. But at no point when he got up on the boat, I didn't shake the boat to try to drop him out.
Did you have? So when you hit that water, like fear immediately.
I don't even think I got wet. I got out of the water that fast. I mean, it was nuts because I was scared to death that alligator was right there sniffing about me.
Probably wouldn't have been quite as funny then, would it?
No, it would not have. He would.
Especially if he'd have got you where you was TTing at.
Knowing Thompson, though, he still would have laughed. He still would have laughed. Thompson would have laughed as he's helping me back in the boat.
Minus one arm.
Yeah, but there are. I saw more alligators this time than I've seen in years past.
Don't like them.
None of them nice. I mean, big size, but there was a pile of them.
All bite, sharp teeth.
Yeah, a bunch of our buddies from Orange County were down there camping. They had brought their campers. Opie Howell, BJ, y'all know BJ Dixon.
Mm-hmm.
He's big in that little league.
Yeah.
They were all down there. They were mullet fishing. I don't know. Most of the time, people with mullet fish get out in the water to mullet fish. Not a chance. As many alligators as I saw down there, there's no way I'm getting that.
Were they in the water?
Yeah. You set little poles out and put salt blocks out and sit there and catch mullet. They caught a pile of them too.
It ain't worth it.
Not.
I'll just go buy some before I do that.
I like fishing from a boat. I've only done it a few times.
My mom and them like mullet, but I don't really like the taste of mullet. It's real fishy.
My dad just got a boat. Me and my kids been going in. We have not caught a single fish, but I really like it. You get to sit there,
Just enjoy
have
nature.
snacks, and
TT off the boat.
drink Diet Sunkist, and
Just great outdoor.
Uncle G
great
special.
outdoors.
Yeah.
That's my summers. I love a Sunkist or a Minute Maid. That's what my granddad used to get when we used to go to the creek fishing.
They are tasty. I don't know what made me think of this, but we were talking about it the other day, so that's what made me think of it. Have y'all had a time where your wife or fiance, like, what's the maddest that you've made them, and what did you do to make them that mad? And while you're thinking about it, I'll briefly tell mine. And Hyde, I don't know if you were on this trip or not, Hyde. When we went to Denver to watch Bebe play, it was either the second time. I can't remember if it was the first time. It was when Jelly had to fly back early.
no, I wasn't on that one.
So we go to Denver. We fly out there. There's probably 9 of us, and me and Jelly ride up together in my car. And
I remember this.
And I tell Jelly when we get there, I was like, here, I'm going to put my key. I didn't have a carry-on. All I had was a suitcase. So I said, we're going to put my car keys in your book bag, because he had a carry-on. And I said, don't let me forget they're there now. That way when we get back, blah, blah, blah. Go out to Denver, go to the game, have a blast. We're up late. Well, Jill, when we get there, realizes, or at one point tells me he's got to fly back the night before, like late, because instead of early the next morning or the next day like we were, because he had to get back to work. So he peels out that night. Well, we stay in Denver.
Keys in back.
We get up the next day, whatever. We have to be at the airport that afternoon. So we get there and we get on the plane, and it dawns on me as we're sitting on, was it the tarmac, what it's called? When we're in line to take off, it dawns on me that My car keys are in his bag, which are now in Vidalia. And this is when Shelby and I are living in line, so which is a good 3+ hours from Atlanta. And my first immediate thought was, I can't call Shelby. Like, I can't.
None of the people going with you couldn't have come and got you. Stop with the drink.
I was the only one going to lines. The rest of them were like in Atlanta or
Dublin.
Yeah. So, and I couldn't leave my car there.
We got you at least a little closer.
But my car still would have been in
had to
Atlanta.
have a car.
I mean,
So I first called Jelly. Jelly says, "Yeah, I got the keys, but he has to go to work, so he can't bring them." So then I call Mama. You got to call Mama next.
That's right.
Well, Mama, who would do anything in the world for me, just not going to do this. So now
She said, "Son, it's time for you to grow on up."
It is.
So now we're moving. We're moving down the runway. So it's do or die. Now I got to call Shelby. I call Shelby as we're in the air, and I explain to her, I'm trying to tell her Jelly took the keys, blah, 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 and my car's in Atlanta. Get all that out. Call drops. We're in the air.
She hung up on you?
No. We're
just
no
call.
cell signal. Okay. So the whole 2+ hour flight, I don't know if she's bringing me the keys. I don't know anything. So when we land, I call her, and she's very short with me and tells me where to be, like at the airport. She's with her mom. She has swung through Dublin and got her mom.
They have bashed you the whole way.
Oh, no doubt. And we don't have any kids this time. We hadn't been married. I don't even. We'd maybe just gotten married, and
I bet
she pulls through.
They were probably talking about why she shouldn't have married you
Probably.
the whole way to Atlanta.
Listen,
I should have never married this clown.
She pulls through, rolls down the window without stopping, tosses the keys. She's right on going.
That's good.
Brutal. It took me quite a long time for that to go away. So
I've never had one like that, I don't think.
yeah, it was tough.
I don't know. I have made my wife mad so many times.
So many to choose from.
Yeah. Probably the time you and I went to that Georgia.
Knew I had to be involved.
Yeah. We went to a Georgia football game. We had Jeremy and I bought season tickets. Well, for whatever reason, she was always busy when Georgia had a home game. So she went to 0 home games that year, I think. And Chuck and I go.
Arkansas?
I think it was Arkansas. And
what an atmosphere, by the way.
And there was something, I think she was supposed to take her car, or maybe I was supposed to take her car to get the tires changed and oil changed and stuff, but Chuck and I ended up going to the game instead. And then so she decided she was going to take it. And there was some mix up at Paul's tire, and it was not good. And
if I recall, we were eating breakfast at that.
She was upset, and Chuck and I were at Mama's Boy.
That's it.
And I really didn't want to let it be a downer on my breakfast at Mama's Boy. And so I was being, I don't remember how I was replying, but I was not like really playing into the thing. Chuck and I were having a great time.
Man, what a time.
And then Georgia I think Arkansas was top 10.
They were.
And we commenced to trounce.
And it was a noon game.
It was trounce.
So loud. Yeah.
Yep.
Haley's pretty easy going. We've gotten fusses, but it's really nuts.
This dude's got an anomaly over here.
It is. She's pretty easy going about most stuff.
But you know, really,
I think there was one time I was at Thompson's. I think you came over there
to celebrate his first state title.
Yeah, the first state title, and I got home at like 2 a.m, and she wasn't happy about that.
But you know, if you think about it though,
she just went to bed.
You think about the things that we just mentioned that our significant others were mad at. Not that big of a deal, really.
Yeah, minor thing.
Which may or may
Made
not.
some good memories too.
Yeah, may or may not. They may not agree with that, but it's not that big of a deal.
All right, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, be sure in the bottom of the screen should be a subscribe button. Make sure to click that. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, be sure to subscribe. Give us a 5-star rating. If you're listening, we want to know. So that's a good way for us to follow you. And we were very excited and thankful for our sponsors. So let's hear from them real quick. For all of your commercial and residential real estate, as well as property management needs, give Premier Properties of Dublin a call at 478-274-1606. Their customer service is unmatched, and I can personally guarantee that they will work with you to get you the deal that you want. Again, that's Premier Properties at 478-274-1606.
This is Brad Meeks, owner of Brian's Giant Subs. Thanks for listening to the Big Ugly Sports Podcast. Come see us today to grab your favorite sub, 1632 Veterans Boulevard in the Oaks Shopping Center, Dublin, Georgia.
Are you tired of overpaying for your cable? Do you feel like you're not getting your money's worth? I've got just the solution for you. J2 Streaming Services. With over 9,000 live channels and packages starting at $15 a month. Visit www.j2streaming.com. Also, Big Peach Car Wash, getting ready to break ground over there across from Walmart on Highway 8. It's going to be an awesome car wash. We appreciate Kyle Shepard and the gang for the support. Make sure you go by there. And Blackshear Beverage, located down there on Lake Blackshear. If you're headed down to the lake, headed anywhere that way, Chris County area, be sure to go by there, tell them the Buzz team sent you, which takes me to, I'll come back now. Let's do the Brian's subs drawing for this week. All right, what did you say? We had 35 names in there?
33.
33 names. All right, so we're going to generate that right there. All right, we got number 13. Number 13 is our winner this week. Who we got?
Let me get it counting. We got Chase Horn.
Chase Horn, former
four-time state champ.
currently wrestling at NC State. Hopefully he's in town. If he is, go by Brian's Chase. Enjoy that half sub, courtesy of Brian's Giant Subs, thanks to Brad Meeks and the people over there. Now, the Blackshear Beverage made me think about it this past weekend. Big shout out to huge loyal listener of the show. My dad, Big Kev, Kevin Hill, was honored, him and his brother Clay, this weekend at the GACA, which is the Georgia Athletic Coach Association Hall of Fame weekend. They got the Earl Etheridge Service Award for their years of dedication to the GACA and all these different things that they do. They love the GACA and just coaches in general. So it was really cool to go there. It's a big deal if you've never been, which I haven't. It's in Dalton, and at the Dalton Convention Center, the whole bottom floor, they have essentially, the city of Dalton has given to the GACA, and when you walk down there, there's all these people that have been inducted to the Hall of Fame, and there it looks like Cooperstown. I mean, they've got the gold plaques with their career stuff up under it, and it's a really, really cool deal. So him and his brother Clay, who coached at Chris County forever, also were both given to that service award. So really cool, good time for the family to be there, and I know he was proud and he made us proud. So shout out Big Kev for that.
That's awesome.
Congrats, Big Kev.
But Blackshear Beverage, they had a hospitality room, and I got to see my cousins Wade and them, who are the owners and operators of Blackshear Beverage, and on the table in the hospitality room of the hotel, they had a lot of koozies, Blackshear Beverage, and I had to have a tough conversation with Wade about throwing out koozies without running it by us first. And we have first refusal's not the word, but we have first say so on who they advertise with, and that's kind of how we feel about it. And he didn't run that by us, but he got in line.
Tighten up.
We don't toss around Blackshear Beverage lightly, and I told him that. So
I wore my Blackshear Beverage T-shirt to the gym yesterday. A lot of people were asking me about it.
When did I start getting some of this swag?
You came in a little late, but
Sweet swag.
We've kind of,
I like swag.
it's kind of a off season, if you will, because college football is not around, pro football. But probably when we pick it up in the fall, there may be some things left over for you.
we'll probably be at a
If I
snack.
haven't been fired by then.
I feel confident we could.
At this point, you're definitely third in the order. Roger's done slipped on down to fourth. So
In the swag order?
Yes.
In the order of people
Yes.
who get swag?
yes,
But I feel confident as part of our ongoing sponsorship with them that they'll be able to provide us with some T-shirts or some koozies for some giveaway, things like that.
or maybe some more game tickets.
Maybe some Hawks tickets or Falcons, Georgia, something like that.
Or
maybe.
Braves, or Braves.
Speaking of Braves,
Okay.
how about speaking of the Braves, we talked a little bit. We mentioned can you good over there?
Yeah, I was trying to get adjusted.
You need me to mute and let you get settled in?
good.
Or
I'm good.
The school desks are not comfy. That's why I refuse to sit him. Plus, I probably don't fit him.
That's where I was going with it. But Ozuna, night before last, got benched. You know, I'm sure y'all saw it.
I'm all for it.
For not hustling.
Yeah, I mean,
he had a 415-foot bomb. He thought it was going over the fence, so he watches it, which a lot of major league players would have done. But even after watching it, he's still going to jog down the first.
And then did the too little symbol that they do, and I'm like, you know how they do the little sign.
Like, me and Haley was talking about it last night. I am a major Acuna fan.
Me too.
But it's too much. He does. It's like he does something at every base. When he steals a base, like one of them, he was pretty close to being out, and then he does one of these. I was like, maybe if you blew their doors and like the other two steals, it wouldn't even close.
But here's my question: are you okay with him doing all that and being first in the league in about every category?
I'm okay with him doing all that if I don't bat after him.
Yeah,
because there's going to be a major league pitcher that's going to peg Olsen. Just because of that.
The frustrating thing with Ozuna to me is if you home run trot it, you got a double easy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you just come out the gate trotting like you think it's going, you just come out a little coast, you're getting
because you should be maybe halfway between first and second when you realize, oh, that's not going, and then you start digging to second, and you're good.
I just feel like, to me, I feel like these guys are role models, and I just remember watching Major League Sports. NFL stuff when I was younger, and looking up to like Mark McGuire, Don Mattingly,
Don
Mattingly.
Mattingly.
Okay, there you go.
It's tough to get out. I thought you were intentionally mispronouncing there. Okay, that wasn't intentional.
Mattingly.
It's not Manning.
It's not Mattingly.
Mattingly.
It's
Mattingly.
Tease.
Mattingly. I like to say Mattingly.
Like Meredith
tomatoes. Kiss my butt. Regardless, I look up to these guys like Mr. Baseball. He's Mr. Baseball. I mean, he hustled on and off the field. That was something instilled into me when I played sports.
So what you're telling me right now, if you're growing up and you're out here playing wiffle ball and you blast a double, when you get to second, you're doing the too little sign.
Right, because that's what I guarantee you watch Little League and they're going to do it.
There's kids, all these kids that do. I mean, they got mullets, they got the eye black, like they got it's eye black, but they're painting their face like in triangles, and they do
that in college.
They got the big Viper shades.
Yeah,
you got like 6 and 7 year old kids got Viper shades on. They can't even fit under their hat.
I mean, it's fun. It's a sport, and they got somebody to look up to. But I mean, there's certain things that, I mean, would Ozuna want his own personal kid doing that? You know?
I'm sure he probably wouldn't care.
Based on his track record, he's not real like moral compass type guy. So,
which leads me to a question, and we know he wouldn't. But if Austin Riley does that in a game tonight, is he benched, or does Ozuna's history factor in?
Well, they benched Acuna for doing the same thing. So right. I think that it should apply across the board. You don't hustle, you get pulled like that. I can remember Bobby Cox doing that to Andrew Jones. If you don't hustle, you get pulled. I mean, because you are hurting your team, and you get paid big dollars to
and Ozuna's DHing.
To me, Ozuna's not even the best DH. Mm-mm. I mean, you're gonna make a name for yourself. You better be pretty darn good. If I'm gonna do that, like Acuna can get away with it because I mean he's the best outfielder in Major League Baseball,
right?
But Ozuna,
and you got Darno sitting on the bench,
exactly,
or Murphy, whichever one's not catching, that could easily be in their DH.
Yeah, I'm in favor of benching guys that don't hustle and give their best.
I agree.
It's too close of a league. I mean, it's not like the Braves are just blowing out everybody they play.
All right, staying with the Braves, what do you guys think? Was it yesterday that Soroka got
option back to AAA?
What are your thoughts on that, Hight?
I mean,
after 2 starts.
Well, he's been out of baseball for 2 years, roughly, and so I mean, I didn't expect him to come back and be lights out. So,
do you think he's back up this year?
Yeah, I do. I think that he's still trying to get his legs under him and get Now I've never pitched. I tell you back, I pitched in one game one time in varsity. It did not go well, and thankfully it got rained out. But but anyway, like I don't know all the getting things with time and mechanics and physical, like in shape for that type of stuff. But I just couldn't imagine having to come
especially
back
after an Achilles,
two major surgeries.
But
So
to me, didn't he go through the leagues? Didn't he go through AAA? Didn't he go through AA?
He pitched at AAA, but it ain't like he domed AAA. It was.
I mean,
and still though, you
bring him in a middle reliever position.
I don't know. I feel like he'd be back. I feel like he'll be back.
I think he'll be back. I thought his first outing was good.
I don't think he'll be as good as he was prior to his injuries.
No, his second outing was not very good, but his first outing was pretty good.
It's just like he has a couple of bad.
He didn't give up
spots.
like 2 hits. I don't think in his first outing. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but
No, he gave up a little more than that. It wasn't two, but it was like one of them was a 2-run bomb.
right,
Yeah.
right. But I mean, we just didn't hit the ball that game.
He'll do some fine tuning in AAA. He'll be back.
That second game, 3.5 innings.
Hurt ERA.
Yeah, but I mean, he gave him up with all 2 out. I mean, every one of the runs he gave up was with 2 outs too.
I think he'll be back too. I think it's probably just a confidence thing. Go by air and get it back, and then
That's
just come back.
going to be it. And he's young, so I mean, he's got plenty of time to come back.
What about that new pitcher the Braves brought up the other day to pitch? What was his name?
I'm not going to do it. I'll wait for one of you to talk about him. I think he's starting either tonight or
The guy with the hyphenated name?
they're moving him into a starting role.
I want to hear you say his name.
No, I'm waiting on y'all.
AJ what?
Why
AJ Smith.
I want y'all to say it because y'all hammer me about mispronouncing.
But I want to hear you
But
say
that's
it.
that's the funny part of the show, Law.
I don't like it. I'm not going to. Let me look at it.
AJ
Look
Smith
at it.
Shaver.
Shaver.
That's how I would say it.
This guy.
What about him? Tell us a little bit about
What
him.
did I say earlier? I did
All kind of not that.
Shorber, Shoster.
I thought Shaver. It's not Shaver. Shaver or Shaver?
Shaw is Shaw SHAW, then like VER.
Regardless, I like him.
Yeah.
I like it. He has a lot of movement on his balls.
20 years old.
I like him.
Dude came in dealing.
What's up with the hyphenated name though?
I don't know.
I don't understand. I mean, I like a lot of girls do that, or females do that, or even Hispanics. I think it's part of the culture for Hispanics.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
So you said he's starting this series. Speaking of this
Yeah.
series, big
We got
series.
Mets.
Now,
Mets.
from what I read, he's supposed to be moved up into a starting role.
Which everybody's going to hear this on Wednesday. We're filming on Tuesday. So actually tonight, the Braves open up with the Mets in a big series. So what are we, 3 games? The gap's kind of closed a little bit. So there's a lot. And I know it's early, but
These are still.
But not 3 games from the Mets. That's Tampa. The Mets.
No.
We're 5 games from the Mets. Get us.
What are you
Side
talking
bet.
about? Tampa Bay. What are you talking about?
no,
Tampa
I got
Bay?
it. Don't put your phone down.
They're in the AL East. We're not worried about
Not
Tampa. Bay.
Tampa. But it's not the Mets. The Mets are not.
This guy's all over the place right now.
Chuck,
I'm
tell him.
right.
Tell him, Chuck.
Oh my God! I know I'm right. Yeah,
So,
I hate that every time I say something, I feel like y'all try to make me out where I'm wrong. But I'm about
It's 3 games over them. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. You're right. Over the Marlins. You're right. That's
the
on me.
Marlins.
That's
Marlins.
on
I
me.
knew it was one of them Florida teams.
5.5 over the Mets. You're right. Hey.
But here's the thing: nobody thinks the Marlins are going to withstand. You know, they're not going to finish the season as runner up in the East.
The Mets are only right at 500 right now,
And I see.
which is normally where the Braves are at. There's usually the Mets take.
Is it
really
in
good.
Atlanta or is it in?
It's in Atlanta.
So I think it'll be a good series. It'll probably have a little heat to the series. You know, is what's his name? Max Scherzer, is he back? Is he going to start in this series?
I'm about to tell you right now. So it's Bryce Elder versus Carrasco tonight, which Bryce Elder's just been absolutely dealing, just quietly dealing out there.
Bryce. But I'm gonna tell you what, he don't have to worry about the.
And then you got
pitch
that's going to be a tough matchup
He
on
deals.
Bryce Elder just is a quick pitcher, boy.
Wednesday. Is Scherzer Morton, so that's going to be a tough one for Uncle
be-
Charlie right there.
That'd be a good one.
And then Thursday will be Verlander Strider. So this is going to be a good series.
I was wrong about the start. The game.
Yeah, completely wrong about
No,
that.
there's
Well, unless there's a Friday game, let me check. Yeah, you're wrong. So let's just leave you at that.
well, I was right earlier.
But
I'm 1 for 2.
But exciting in the broadcast is on June the 8th.
Which one of
Glavine,
those?
Smoltz, was it Maddox and Francoeur? Those are going to be the four.
Up in the broadcast booth.
Was that right? Glavin, Smoltz, Maddox?
thought
Chipper. Not Maddox. Glavin, Smoltz, Chipper, Francor. That's it.
Yeah.
That'll be fun to listen to.
Yeah.
I bet they can be telling stories and clowning each other the whole time.
They are going to clown Jeff Franco.
Maybe there's potential where
Friend.
we could do it one time. Maybe they call in the bus team to come up there and
we should submit it. We should submit an audition tape or something.
I feel like we could get in there. Who do you think, because it's getting that time where people are placing all-star votes, who do you guys think on the Braves are worthy of an all-star game appearance?
Strider, for sure.
Elder?
Acuna.
For sure.
I don't know if that. I mean, Acuna and Strider's the only two. Maybe Murphy.
You don't think Elder? Elder's got like the lowest ERA in baseball or close to it.
I think Murphy should.
You talking about Dale's boy?
Man, he's a really good defensive catcher.
Hose piece.
He's a good. He's like the second best catcher in the National League. So he should be considered.
I'm always going to pull for my boy. My Ozzie Albies is my favorite Brave.
And Braves country, when it comes to voting now, they'll be turning out some votes. Ozzie's heating up a little bit. Maybe he can get back up there, but he was struggling.
Yeah.
I like Ozzie. He's one of my favorite Braves, but
I don't think Riley's been good enough this year to get in yet.
No,
he's a little bit, but
him and Ozzie are heating up right now, but they're way behind where they usually are.
I'm gonna say Acuna.
Baseball's all about
Strider
getting hot at the right time.
I think we have. I don't know about any relief pitchers. I hadn't really paid close enough attention to them, but I think Strider, Elder, and Acuna are the three that make them.
Right.
Maybe Murphy. I could see Murphy four guys from the Braves make it.
If Contreras made it last year, they got to let Murphy in.
Yeah,
but I think Contreras made it as a DH.
DH, yeah.
In the second round of voting.
So
and really, Contreras only really made it because wasn't Bryce Harper hurt?
Yep.
Because he was the DH. It was him and Bryce Harper, but Bryce Harper was hurt. So I think Contreras.
That's right. Look at you. Well, you all over that.
Hey, this guy. Watch this. I'm a fanatic, Braves fanatic. If you go by my house, guaranteed it don't matter about what time they're playing. I'm usually on the back porch watching the Braves. I love some
I do too. I can sit there and watch every pitch.
My dad, I just remember growing up, there wasn't a whole lot of things my dad sat down and watched. We got cable so he could watch the Braves. Or back when you had the old rabbit ears, you could sometimes get TBS if the weather was
just right, yeah.
And you could do the rabbit ears just right. But we watched the Braves.
All right, before we close out the show here, real quick, and I know y'all probably hadn't given it a whole lot, but the NBA Finals, the Heat stole the game.
It's tied.
The 1-1 they play tomorrow, which will be tonight when you're listening to it, but tomorrow was Wednesday. They play 2 games in Miami, so this is going to be
these are 2 big games.
2 big games. Joker had 41 last game, and it just wasn't quite enough. Man, the Heat they're just. I would like to see Denver win it just because Denver's never won it, and the Heat, did with LeBron and them. But I don't know, man. Eric Spoelstra's done a great job if he can do it with this team because there's a lot of no names.
He has been the coach in Miami a long time,
and everybody thought he was just a good coach because he had the big 3, But if he can do it with his crew with Jimmy, I mean, you got Jimmy Butler, and that's essentially if you ask anybody who plays on the Heat, they're going to say Jimmy Butler. They're not going to say.
I couldn't tell you another person.
Bam Adebayo or none of. I mean, he's a good player too, but there's just a lot of.
But even then, I mean, there was like 3 or 4 that scored 20. I mean, the same amount of points.
And most of those guys, I said this on the last show, are undrafted people, which is you just don't see a whole lot in the.
Like you said, the Joker had 40. Other than that, there was nobody even close to in points on their team.
And that was Denver's first home loss in the playoffs. So, exciting series to watch come down. I know we made our predictions last week, but switching real quick again before we close it, my man Victor Hovland pulled off the PGA tournament win this past weekend. So my hot take, I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there now, is Masters 2024 Victor Hovland.
Okay.
You give me anything on that?
I like that pick.
Okay. I'll
take the field, though. I'll take the field if you want to put any money on it.
Too soon.
He's to me, he's fun to watch. He seems like a very nice guy. And I saw something on Facebook where somebody had posted that he won it on Sunday, won $3.6 million. On Monday, he was caddying 36 holes for one of his good buddies. He's toting his bag.
College teammate.
What a guy.
That's a good buddy. That's something I would do.
That is something you would do.
I'm not toting any of y'all's bags.
That's
Like,
because
bring
you
us
got a
home,
bad
man.
back.
Another good show.
I do got a bad back.
Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram at Big Ugly Sports, and BigUglySports.com.
Yep. Make sure you get on the Brian Subs drawing this week when we make the post. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're on Apple, subscribe. If you're on Spotify, subscribe. Let us know that you're following us. Comment. Let us know how bad you think the show is. We'll take any kind of feedback we can get. We do appreciate our title sponsor, Premier Properties of Dublin. For all your real estate needs, give them a call.
Shout out to Kristen Best, 3 million sales.
Man, that's a lot of sales.
Getting after it.
So whatever you're doing, man, we appreciate you wherever you're at.
Get on that
bus.
Even a subscription. We a work in progress, always room for improvement. Get up on that bus. It's a movement.